Hello, this is Angelia with today's wisdom. Today's wisdom comes from Daily Ohm, going away to go within, retreat. I went on a women's retreat once. It was the Wise Women's Retreat, and it was really nice. We did some good inner work and had some good fellowship time with each other. Sometimes it's a good thing to do this. I know people who've gone on retreats and didn't care for it. So, just like anything else in life, you need to pick one that feels like it's something that would suit you. Occasionally, we need to pause and step away from the hustle and bustle of modern life. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I sure do, because life can be stressful. One way to do this is to get away from our daily life and go on retreat. Far more than a vacation, a retreat offers us time to ourselves to rest, heal, reflect, and renew our spirit. And I know there's a it's an abbey where people can go, and they offer retreats, and there's a monastery a little ways from here where you can go on retreat, and there are other places that offer retreats. The one I went to was from a wise women's group, and it was a person's retreat that they built on their property, and it was like I said, it was really nice. So you can always Google and find out places in your area that offer this, and even one of the mental health places near here offers retreats for when you just need to check out of the real world and get in a cocoon and take care of business. It is a time to cocoon, so that we may emerge renewed, refreshed, and ready to return to our everyday lives with a new perspective. And sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need to take a step back away from stuff and, get a new perspective, a better handle on things, to figure out what your next step is going to be. A retreat gives us time for uninterrupted meditation so that we may go deep within and spend time with ourselves. And I recommend that you do that every day. You should, meditate or concentrate or do something, to spend time with your inner self every day. Because that way you get to know it, and know what it's all about, how it came about, and, where we're going from there. A lot of people don't do that. They just, that's silly. Well, no, it's not, because people who meditate, it's been proven, have better self-esteem. They have a better knowledge of their own mind. They're more in control of their psyche. So there are definite benefits to meditation. A retreat may offer quiet, solitude, and sometimes even silence. And the one that I was talking about at the Abbey, a friend of mine went on, and that was part of the deal, silence. Retreats often take place in humble dwellings with simple fare, so that our senses may be reawakened to the beauty of unadorned tastes and the sights and sounds of nature. And all of them that I know about, that's part of the deal too. The food is simple. Sometimes you have to bring your own food, and a lot of it, there's things to do out in nature, like walks and labyrinths and things like that, where you're out in nature taking advantage of the bird song and things like that to get you more in touch with the real world, versus the man-made world that we're all so enmeshed in. When we spend days in contemplation, we can more easily hear our heart when it speaks to us. And that's true. If you are all enmeshed in what's going on in your life and, the man-made world, I don't even watch the news anymore. I don't read a lot of the news, because all that it is right now is drama. It's the political crap where, the two sides are fighting each other. I personally think they should do away with political parties. That's my opinion. And then individuals would have to run on their own platform. And I think we'd have some seriously different outcomes if that was the case. We also are able to really listen when a bird sings. Deeply breathe in the smell of flowers, grass, or earth, and delight in a soft breeze blowing on our cheek. When we go on retreat, we have time to connect to the sacred geometry of a labyrinth, discover epiphanies through asanas, or take a long, reflective walk through the woods where we can give each step our full attention. And now, me and my husband, that's something that we came up on. We love going out into the forest and hiking and stuff like that. We still do. We don't hike as much as we used to because we're not as able as we used to be. But we still like going to forests and, big parks and things where we can drive around or walk for a little while out in nature because we love nature. We like that much better than the man-made world. That's how it's kind of supposed to be. And, we've kind of messed all that up. But without the pull of deadlines, relationships, the internet, or other media, we give ourselves time to go deep into our own solitude where we can fully reflect on our joys, sorrows, and fears, owning and releasing them as needed. And that's also a good reason to meditate and things because, work can be stressful, especially if you work at a job where there are deadlines. Some relationships are going to drain you. That's the facts of life. Unless you're perfectly compatible with everyone that touches your life, which you're not going to be. Relationships can be a big drain on you. Again, the internet, like I say, some people are obsessed on their phone 24/7. My children's generation, probably more so than mine, because we didn't get internet till high school. So it's still a tool, and we haven't looked at it as part of our life yet. It's a tool we use. So, and again, the media outlets, it's all sensationalism. They want you to look at theirs. So that's why we have political sides on media, which didn't used to be the case, but now we do. We have this channel here, which is telling all the side from this group and making them look great. And then there is one over here that's telling all the stuff from this side and making them look great. And when that's happening, neither one of those can be perfectly right. The truth's probably somewhere in the middle. And like I say, if you reflect, you probably have more good in your life than you have bad. Think about the things. I have a gratefulness meditation that I do every day, and that's where I put the slideshow on my photos. I have some music that I like playing in the background, and for that point of time, I'm looking on things that happen in my life that I'm grateful for and make me happy. So that starts my day out better than if I was to watch the news and get all ticked off about what's going on in the world. There's going to be stuff in life that makes you sad. Let's just face that. That's the fact of life. Life is not all happy. There's going to be things that make us sad. And you have to be able to deal with that without, spilling that out on everybody else around you. And there are things that we fear, you might fear getting old. You might fear getting decrepit. You might fear, losing your spouse. You might fear, the future. You might fear a lot of things. I know some people who are so anxiety ridden, they're afraid of everything. And when you're like that, that's really hard on you, because everything is going to impact you to a high level if you're afraid of everything. So you need to own up to your feelings because you have them. A lot of people are in denial about their feelings, and all that gets you is, you repress them until one day they're going to come out on their own, whether you like it or not, because that's how your mind works. When it thinks you're going to deal with this stuff, it causes too much stress, rather than go crazy, then you're going to have to deal with that. And unfortunately, some people never do, and that's why they go crazy. But, you're not supposed to use that word, but we know. So, it's good to own your feelings, feel your feelings, and then release your feelings, It's like, okay, this happened, here's how I feel about it, and now I'm done. So, hopefully hopefully when we return home, we can take a little bit of this time alone back with us and create the space for deep reflection on a daily basis. And that's exactly what I did. I said, this is helpful to me, and I'm going to do this every day. So I have, a process that I do every day. I don't have a schedule anymore because the schedule was just causing me stress because every day is different. So I have a priority list of things, that I want to get done every day and that need to get done every day. And so I go through my priority list. And, that way I can feel good about myself and what I'm doing and what I got done that day. So I have a sense of accomplishment, and I don't compare myself to others anymore. Because that was a big thing in my life. I was surrounded by a lot of people who just gave good advice according to them. But they all wanted me to be something different and do something different. And you should do this, you should do that, you could do this and that and that. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? That's not me. I don't want to be like that. I see there's a moth behind me flying around here somewhere. I'm not a fan. But they come in with the bird seed, I think, honestly, because that's where they always are hanging out. But you got to be you. You got to do you. If you're worried about being like somebody else or doing like somebody else, that's going to be a problem. Now, I believe if you want to do something, it is good to look up other folks who did the similar thing and see how they did it. But then you can modify that to fit you and your life. We also may come back to our life renewed and ready to take on the world, because you're swept out all the crap and now you filled it with good, so that you can move forward. The beauty of going on retreat is that no matter where you go or how long you stay, you'll always meet yourself when you get there. Because once you take all the distractions in your life away, that's all you have left to deal with is yourself. So if you want to go away, to go within, a retreat is a good way to do that. So, think about it. Please like and share this wisdom so we can spread it around the world. If you want to help me out, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to help me out even more, go to my Patreon page and become a patron. Link to that is in my posts. Thanks for watching. That's all for now. Until next time.